Okay. By my rough calculations, this entire quest line nets you somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 gold.
Is that good or bad? I don't actually know.
It's
decent at this level,
scaling, I guess, but it's not. It's decent, but like not life changing.
Wait, how much does it cost to buy a house somewhere?
5,000 gold is the cheapest one.
Well, let's win the arena and buy Campster a house.
Yeah, let's buy the haunted house in arena. It's right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking we'd get that shack.
No, the shack sucks.
Yeah.
The shack sucks and it's boring.
I mean,
we're gonna get the haunted house in Anvil.
Is it really haunted?
Yeah, it's haunted.
Yes.
It has actual
Really?
ghosts in it that attack you. Yeah, no bullshit.
Yay! That's exactly the kind of house that Campster deserves.
It's a nice house too. It's actually like legitimately my favorite.
Hi everyone. This is Josh from the editing desk, and as you just saw, for reasons that are still completely unclear to me, halfway through this week's recording session, OBS just arbitrarily decided to start capturing a different monitor. So while I have the game audio, the rest of the video footage is just the OBS window recording itself. I talked to the rest of the cast, and none of us really wanted to try to re-record the 40 minutes of footage we lost, so this is a Spodcast now. Woo! Fortunately, by this point, we largely stopped paying attention to what was going on in the game anyway. That said, I will be leaving notes on these slides as we go that describe roughly what's going on in the now lost footage. And maybe there'll be some dramatic reenactments or something, who knows. Anyway, I now return you to your regularly scheduled Oblivion episode, sans Oblivion.
Okay, Red Scarn, if you were a wrestler, what would your gimmick be?
Okay, so we've actually had this conversation before, and so I've got a corollary which I'll keep asking. So, I would look like I would be like a like 1920s occultist / stage magician in terms of appearance, and I would just like buy people's souls and just like have a deal with the devil or something, and just like have all of these like kind of dark stuff going on, but like all of it within like a kind of corny, this is what people in the 1920s thought this looked like vibe.
I'm laughing because there's a wrestler right now that has that, and I'll show him to you later. But what was the other part of your answer?
The other part of my answer is that I wouldn't be a wrestler, I'd be a manager, and I'd be a weird, creepy traveling salesman type who might just be the devil.
Okay, yeah, basically, I'm gonna put a picture of Danhausen in here. I don't know if you've seen him on my Twitter lately.
Okay, see.
Let me find a really good one of him.
So you still got... Yeah, okay. I'm going to quick save after every match now.
That guy.
Apparently Oblivion doesn't like auto-saving properly.
Good people of the Imperial City.
Check out. Yeah, like, not far off. Not far off.
Yeah. He, like, has a cape, and he's like, and he curses people. So, like, if you do something bad, he'll curse you, and then something bad will happen to you.
Yeah, like, that would be my... like, okay, so he already stole my bit, and I'm suing. That's... I'll be honest, I probably really would enjoy... Like, we had this conversation before, because, like, I think I actually would enjoy being a manager. Like, in kind of... playing that kind of handy role.
You'd be amazing as a manager. Because the great thing about managers is that they can do all of the talking for a wrestler. So you have a wrestler that can't talk for whatever reason, like he's just not a good on the mic or he's foreign, you can be his manager for him and do all of the talking.
Well, he can't talk because I bought his voice.
Ooh,
he can't talk because I bought his voice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
What?
Sometimes he'll have to cut a promo, and then he'll just be like wagging his lips, but I'll be talking into the microphone behind his back.
Oh, creepy. I love that.
Oh yes, 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 we both reach for.
Victor from the blue team. Leave the arena now and rest. You earned it.
Okay, so you did it again. What do you want?
$50, by the way, for ending that man's life. That is what we were paid to kill another human being in a evenly matched one-on-one blood sport. $50 fucking dollars.
Man. I would not do that. I would not kill a man for $50.
Good people of the Imperial City, welcome.
It's like, you think about how, like, rough that scene in The Wrestler is, where he's just, like, getting stapled
The winner of this
in this
Yeah.
shitty little dive. Like, imagine that, but you're actually murdering someone. It's for even less money.
was what you're made of.
I think the problem is that, like, if you were to make the arena have all of these characters and, like, put all of this writing into it, it would be its own game, essentially. I think, like, that is not the point of this arena. The point of this arena is to make money and to work on your skills.
It would also be funny
Yeah.
if the Elder Scrolls team started making an arena mode for their open world RPG that became so elaborate it just became its own video game. Because that's literally the opposite of what happened to create the Elder Scrolls franchise.
Yeah,
They were making an arena video game, and they started adding more and more stuff to the outside world until they had to make it like an open world game.
No way? Really?
Yeah,
And that's why the first game is called Arena, because they'd already ordered all the box art and stuff. And
What?
everything already said Arena on it by the time the feature creep caught up to them. They realized this wasn't their video game anymore.
So in the opening
Whoa.
crawl of that game, there is a justification for why it's called Arena, where it's like, oh, it's a time of political discord. They called the land this like during this time Arena, you know. It's like, the whole world is an arena right now because shit is bad.
I'm
What?
saying this, but you know.
It's like, are there even actually gladiatorial fights in Arena? I don't even remember
No,
if there are
nowhere.
anymore.
Yeah, okay, I even say it's open world. It's barely an open world game because they didn't have time to do much open world shit. Like, there's barely any content besides the main quest in it except just like by what we think of as modern open world game standards. It's just that they spent all this time working on like cities and stuff that you could walk around, and they're like, we don't have time to make an arena video game anymore. Also, and here's the other thing, the combat in Arena was piss. It was piss then.
Oh, it was bad.
I'm not judging it unfairly based on like my poor context. Like, I played a lot of other video games from that era, and all of them had better combat. Like, Hexen was a contemporary like fantasy action combat game that was 1,000 times better in terms of just like feeling like fighting than Arena or Daggerfall was, and there's no excuse.
Yeah, the thing that really threw me about Arena is it's got you know, your procedurally generated open world. You step out of a town and like, you know, you walk around and there's like roads and stuff. And you can maybe find your way into random dungeons and stuff like that. But if you leave a town, you know, like to go somewhere, you can't actually walk to the next city. Like, you can't go anywhere when you go into the open world. You can just walk forever. There's no way to get to another town by walking. You have to use fast travel.
Whoa.
So I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm curious. Like, I tried to play it like maybe 6 months ago. I'm like, oh, I'm curious what Skyrim looked like in this. I'll take a walk around Skyrim. No, you can't do that. You have to use the fast travel to go between towns, and there's really no reason to ever leave a town and walk into the open world unless, like, for whatever reason, you've got a quest that sends you out there for some reason.
There are like quests for magical artifacts, and you can only have one artifact at a time. And you can go into dungeons for those. And like you can get rumors, I think, in the taverns about where to find them. So like, there's not a lot of reason to do it.
Fascinating.
It's a weird little game. I wouldn't recommend people play it if you're looking for a fun experience because it isn't enjoyable, but it's very interesting.
Victor from the blue team, leave the arena now and rest. You earned it.
Yeah, by contrast, in Daggerfall, you could walk from one town to another in the open world. There was just absolutely no reason to do so because distances in Daggerfall were actually, like, realistic, so towns could be 25 in-game miles from each other, so you'd just be wandering around like nothing.
Wow.
That rain.
And then they finally sort of hit on basically the whole Elder Scrolls / Fallout game formula now with Morrowind.
That makes sense.
This next match is going to
where,
be a challenge.
you know, you had a world that was maybe like 10 to 15 kilometers square.
You got to take them both out.
But, you know, with all these compressed distances. But there's stuff to do wherever you go, as opposed to Daggerfall and Arena that are just a bunch of open, empty space. And then between them, they made Battlespire, which was a mistake.
Sorry, did I tell you that, like, after we'd been dating for only, like, a short period of time, I actually had my now wife try Morrowind? And this is, like, 2011, 2012. And someone who had not played a lot of PC games.
That's different from the one that you guys would like to play together, right? The one that you like to play together was Vegas, right?
Oh yeah, Vegas was our courtship video game, legitimately, to the point where we actually played on anniversaries now.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember the Morrowind one.
Had she played New Vegas before playing?
No.
With you?
The whole reason it happened, I say it was our courtship game, but there were two, because we had a conversation as friends before we even started dating, which was like she had never played like first-person PC games, and I hadn't played all these console games because I never had a console growing up. So she had me play Eternal Darkness, and I had her play New Vegas, and we both really, really dug it. Although New Vegas was just a longer play session because it's a larger game. But I still love Eternal Darkness, and we reference it all the time. It is no less important to me, in my view, than New Vegas was. But then I'm like, well, you like New Vegas. How about you try this other video game, Morrowind?
No, man, come on.
Well, she played it she played it for like 20 minutes, and then like she got into a dungeon where like she's shooting an arrow at a person, but the arrow's not hitting them while they're running up against an object, and she's just like, seriously? I'm like, okay, well, that was worth trying. And then like I left, and then like next week I come over like kind of late in the day, like call, hey, like can I come over to your apartment? And I come over, and she's just been playing Morrowind for like 12 hours.
Oh my god.
She ended up having more hours on a single character Morrowind than I ever had on any of my characters. She actually also got way more into the mechanics of it, to the point where like she had all these like graphs and shit. Like she had macros set up to level, like shit that she learned how to make so that she could like level her character while she was away from her keyboard.
Your next opponent is
She did everything with one character, which is something that I like. Almost everything you can do, because there's a couple mutually exclusive quest lines, but like that's something that I never did. Man, what a great game!
Did you save recently, Joshua?
Yeah, I quick saved after the previous one.
The winner of this match will advance to the rank of Bloodletter.
I have to say, like, okay, so since this is level scaled, for some reason I do remember it, like, it getting harder as you keep doing it. Is that a thing?
Yeah, to an
That's how I
extent.
remembered it too.
Like you saw last match. There were two of them.
Right. Actually, I didn't see that because I was not paying any attention to what was happening on screen.
Yeah, so there were two combatants last time, which added a bit of variety to it. And there are some that are just way easier than others. So this guy does not like me. All right, time for weird ghosts.
Right for you.
Come on, Jazz Hands Ghost. Let's do it.
funny because I'm trying to think of a game that I introduced to Nick and he really liked, and I can't think of one. But
it could be,
that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that that I like him and I'm married to him, is because he has such a different taste in games than I do. He has his own retro game room basically, where it's full of retro games that I've never played, and we have such different tastes and stuff. And even when we play games, we play totally differently. Whenever I play games, I try to always play a good guy most of the time, just because it feels nice. Feels nice to be nice. But he always plays a bad guy. So we were talking about Knights of the Old Republic early on in our dating, and he was describing stuff to me. I'm like, that never happened in the game. And it's well, I played the Sith, so yeah, I did. I was like, okay.
It's we have a certain Venn diagram overlap, but also we do have divergent taste in a way that's really cool and good. What's that? We recently played through Dark Souls together for the first time, and it was a really enjoyable experience. And I'm really glad we had it. It was very enriching and engaging. And I would not have played it by myself. Part of the reason I wanted to play it was because I knew there was so much about it that she would be really into and really good at that I wouldn't be.
That makes sense.
Also, there's these sick games like Persona 5, World of Horror, they have these very slick elements to them, and this very cool presentation and aesthetic, and I could really enjoy watching it, but that I probably wouldn't be able to get into gameplay wise.
That's what I was gonna say. I have Nick play a lot of games for me. I had him play Spec Ops for me because there's no way I'm playing Spec Ops, but I really wanted to see it, and so that was one of our early games that we played together. And then more recently, what's the one? It's not Outer Wilds. It's the one where you have your own little spaceship and you go to a bunch of different planets, and then
that actually is Outer Wilds.
Oh, it is?
Outer Worlds is the other one. I know. I know.
Every time. Okay, anyway. So I've never played that game, but I know a lot about that game because I love just chilling and reading while he plays it. Because there's something just so beautiful about the noises and just the emptiness of that game that just feels really good to be chilling around with, You know
what that's been for me lately? Dwarf Fortress.
Oh my god.
I don't have enough brain cells to rub together for Dwarf Fortress, but I love watching her play it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, and then Nick and we play a lot of Final Fantasy XIV together. And then people are like, what server you're on? I'm never going to tell you. Ever. It's just for me and him.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
It's really just for me and him. And if you find me, I'll deny that it's me. I will be like, wasn't me.
No, you will say that you're a stockbroker from Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes, but
I just like playing a female character because I like the view from behind. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, gotta go. The wife is hollering at me. Did I tell you about the time I ran a World of Warcraft guild as a 17-year-old?
I've heard tale. I've heard story and tale.
The thing about it that defined my experience was when I was talking about 1980s movies, and the mom of two in the guild said, "Well, you'd remember the 1980s better than I would." I'm like, I was born in 1991, madam.
The temper to match. Careful.
Everybody, apparently I just, talked and acted and just, had the personality of, a 40-year-old, divorcee.
Yeah, I can see that. That's definitely the vibe that you gave early on. When I first met you, I was like, this guy's an old soul, in the sense that he has seen some shit online.
The funny thing is that we also had, a blood elf female character who, talked in, teen speak, and, seemed aware of any cultural, thing. Who was American, but seemed aware of any, American culture beyond stuff that was, currently on TV or in cinemas. And it came out that he was, a truck driver in his mid-30s.
Aw, that's amazing.
I agree.
I missed that more innocent time.
To join my guild, you needed to be a certain amount of lost anyway, because, you know, all the things you think of like a guild would be good for, we weren't good for.
I never in my life have joined an MMO guild. I have tried to play World of Warcraft, but I couldn't find any guild that I could, like, hang with. I never really understood how people, like, made friends in that.
What worked for me was being very publicly and loudly annoying.
Oh, I see. That's how I made friends in TF2.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, it works. Don't knock it. It gets sad after a certain age, but, like, fuck it, you're 17. I was 16 years old, 17 years old.
Well, when I first started playing TF2, I was fresh out of college, so I was, like, early 20s, and I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll be the only girl on the server!
Yep.
So,
how's this going?
we're actually we're running into the point in Oblivion where everything starts to have way too much health.
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of surprised we've gotten here this early. This might just be the arena stuff being slightly
talk about how great her angry face is, though?
Is that like a... Yeah, she looks weird. It looks like they took someone else's head and put it on her body.
I don't watch this show. She looks like Gravity Falls Grunkle.
Yeah.
Who is that? What am I talking about?
Yeah, the grandpa in Gravity Falls, exactly. And now she is no more. Are you saying, Josh, that we got to do the main quest now? Is it time? Is it finally time?
It's not going to be any better in the main quest. This is just Oblivion for you.
How does things feel better? Remember in Skyrim when
we install a bunch of mods?
In Skyrim, the more you level up, the more things feel amazing.
Well, that's how we're going to use Chris. We're just going to switch to Skyrim next week.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Like, we got you this house! In Skyrim!
No, we're on that quest that takes us up to the north we were talking about. This is let's see. We might be able to take on...
room got its paint job.
There's just like... Okay, over the time I've been playing video games, like, I've seen 18 different mods pop up that were, like, porting X Elder Scrolls game into the engine of Y Elder Scrolls game. And I've always confidently assumed that these mods were going nowhere and never actually going to become a thing, and I think I've always been 100% right. Which I almost donated, like, a voice recording to one of them, but I think I fucked up the submission process, and I never actually, like, applied to it. Which is just as well, because I don't think it ever came to anything. I wanted to be, like... There were no good roles left, anyway, and besides, it's not like I have any voice acting experience, so I wouldn't have landed a good role anyway. I aimed for, and think I probably... Flattered myself I could have gotten the role of just, like, a random, like, sniveling coward in Tribunal.
Oh. Do, like,
just like a random sewer coward.
Let's see if we can steal that ring.
Please don't kill me, hero. I wasn't trying to betray you, I swear.
That's pretty good. That's quite good. You're hired.
Thank goodness. Finally closing the loop on that one failed email I almost sent 7 years ago for a mod that still isn't out.
I would love to voice act in a video game. I don't really have the time to... Uh-oh! It's all over, Lawbreaker! What have you done? What did you do?
What the fuck did... 5 gold? What the fuck did you do?
Run.
We trespassed in the Imperial quarters. And now...
why were you trespassing in the Imperial quarters?
There's that ring.
Why did you resist arrest?
Why are we doing the ring? I thought Did I just
Oh,
fucking
right.
black
Oh,
out?
But the arena closed, so I figured we'd
okay.
pop down to Leyland and
Oh,
steal a
okay.
ring.
Right.
I literally
It's-
thought I fucking blacked out, and I thought we were doing
It's
arena.
very funny because there's so much content in this quest for like, oh, you're supposed to like find the secret passages and like sneak around after hours and stuff, but you can just like run in like an absolute lunatic and grab it and run out like it's Crusader Kings 2 and you're stealing a relic from a chapel, and it works just as well.
No, I really mean this when I say that Josh has like blown my mind in the sense of now I can play these games, because when I first played this game I was like, I'll never be sneaky enough. I'll never be able. I'm just not sneaky.
And I was just like, fuck it.
That's the great thing about the genuine genius of this game is that in its marketing, its materials, its presentation, it managed to snooker people thinking it was so much more robust than it actually was. So
Right.
everybody talks about like all these quests that are like so sneaky or like so like interesting or intricate, and the reality is that you can just sledgehammer through almost every single one of them doing some stupid shit, and the game has nothing to say about it.
It's beautiful. It truly is a work of beauty, Josh, that you have.
Yeah, I agree. Like
Because
there's
I just
that
ran
quest
in and stole it.
Amazing.
Like, there's that quest in the Dark Brotherhood everybody talks about where, like, Masquerade, which I'm about to ruin really badly, if we haven't already done so in this series, which I almost find hard to believe, where, like, you have to, like, bump people off one at a time, but, like, by playing on them and, like, playing on their insecurities and, like, gradually ratcheting up paranoia over the course of this dinner party. Except you
Yeah.
don't. You can just walk in, throw one fireball, and do the whole thing instantly.
What?
Everyone has one hit point, and they don't actually have good systems for detecting, like, that someone sees you. Well, you could just throw a
What?
fireball and get, like, a Silent Assassin S rank instantly.
No!
Yeah! Yeah!
Ah!
I was so mad when I found that out, and now I get to see someone else be as bad.
Oh, I remember that quest, and I spent like a whole night on it, basically. Like,
Oh,
trying to
yeah!
perfect it. Oh my god.
Spare a coin for the infirm.
One fireball.
Oh my god.
Like, the people in that quest literally have one hit point each, also, is the thing.
It's you.
That's just proof that I am just 100% a mark. Like, if you tell me something is a certain way, I will believe it without even blinking. I am such a fucking mark. And I mean, I shouldn't be. I watch wrestling. I know that wrestling's fake. I know all of the backstage stuff in wrestling, but I'm still believe. I just want to believe.
I almost want to say that the amount of hours I've spent playing Elder Scrolls games, which all have this, like, all are basically trying to make you a mark for them, right? Every Elder Scrolls game is trying to make you into a mark, and has all this flim-flam stuff. I actually think they have made me into, like, the cheese lord that I am, where I just, like, don't believe anything a video game tells me, and I just try to fuck it up as hard as I can.
I will never be that person. I simply do not have it in, like, my brain structure to, like, whenever I play any fucking game, even if I go in feeling like, oh, whatever, this game is going to be bleh, I just believe. Oh, yes, of course. And I have lived my life like that for so long to the sense, like, for example, in Stardew Valley, you can pretty much date whoever, and there's only one consequence if you date all of the bachelors, every single man in town or every single woman in town, right? So the game, like, built itself to make you feel like, oh no, you should probably just date one person. And then, like, you know, and so I'm like, okay, fine. And so I went my whole time just dating one person, and I never explored the other stuff when I had the chance.
Does the hunter have
I just,
ring? Amuse tried to sell it to Alicia Caro.
It is
in
also,
fairness,
it is, can we all
that's-
agree that it is extremely funny that we just ran and took the ring and ran back out?
I use it to collect and sell it.
Pissed off every guard.
That ring can be used.
Like, did you have that planned out, Josh? Like, did you have like a heist?
I was
sheet in
planning
your
on
head?
sneaking in the way that I did before, but there was a guard there, and I immediately failed that plan. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna run into the thing and take the ring. Why not? The jig is up."
What was our bounty? Like, what bounty did we incur doing
40 gold. Not
Oh
even
my
worth the
fucking
ring.
god!
That's
Can you imagine
killing
if
one
like
man.
can you imagine if there was like a $40 fine for breaking into a bank, and like they just didn't check if you stole anything else while you were in there?
Oh my god.
Slimy Argonian dead. suffer long.
Or it's like, when we arrested you, you didn't have, like, the $80,000 missing dollars on your person. So we're only fining you for breaking and entering in. It is $40.
Grateful that
I do wonder if you could, like, chuck the ring before the guards catch you and then, like, go to jail and then walk back into the castle and pick up the ring.
Almost certainly. Which is really funny, because, like, in an actual medieval justice system, they would just hang you up by your toenails until they found the ring.
And then just kill you.
They would do it
And
for
then,
less.
like, well, or cut your hands off or something.
You look at someone funny in medieval times and say bye-bye to your eyes, my dude.
Oh, people ask about this. One sec.
Oh, it's not.
So people asked about the headsman's diary I was talking about. That's the journal of Master Franz Schmidt.
to the guild.
He was the executioner of Nuremberg from 1573 to 1617. I mean, if you've got a strong stomach, it's full of comedy gold. I think my favorite anecdote from it is that there's this guy who, like, they're gonna hang him.
You are
And he told everybody as he's standing up on the gallows, like, after I'm dead, check my pants because I sewed all the gold coins I stole into the pants. And then they hanged him, and they checked his pants, and there was nothing in there.
Where is this guy from?
Nuremberg in the 16th century.
Oh, wait,
I mean, he was well
this is
respected
the
by his
drug
community.
dealer, not the
He retired and then he
Oh,
became a
okay.
medical consultant. No. Like, again, like, So, like, back in the day, people actually did... I say people didn't give a shit. People did care about how well an executioner did their job. Like, if you tried to behead a guy and, like, you fucked up on, like, the first swing, that was really embarrassing. And if you fucked up, like, twice, people might rush the stage. Like, they're just like, what is this? What are you doing? Get this weak shit out of here. You're not capable of executing justice, dipshit. But, like, he pretty much nailed it every time. Like, right between the navigational beacons, every swing.
Welcome.
Interesting.
And it seems like he actually, like, kind of had a real interest in, like, why people committed crimes. And just, like, you know, he would... Like, there's leniency, like, in how people did stuff. Like, he seemed like he was a real professional and, like, a sort of a unusually thoughtful person for an executioner.
Fun historical factoid. The executioners might not be able to handle it, and screw up the executions was part of the reason why the guillotine was adopted in the French Revolution. It was like, we have all these traitors that we need to kill, but, like, we can't just have the headsman cut them all. You know, they're just going to get really tired and start fucking up executions. Let's make a machine do it.
Why all machines are born?
Me, children. I can.
Yeah. Because humans
Where's
are bad
that
at killing
damn
people
fence?
efficiently. That is the basis of technology.
Going back to what you were saying, like, about 5 or 10 minutes ago, Mumbles, about, like, believing in the world and immersing yourself in the world. That's actually exactly how I play games almost all of the time, to the point where I get kind of upset when certain aspects, like, take me out of it, like bits in Dragon Age Inquisition, where you're really supposed to be doing the main quest. It's kind of vitally important that you go and deal with this stuff right now, but I gotta do all the side quest shit first.
That is the shit that I've totally made peace with.
Me too.
But I play games differently when I'm playing Spoiler Warning for obvious entertainment reasons, because it's much more funny to just run into the fucking count's room and steal the ring right in front of them.
And I think in a way we're doing, the service we're doing as an entertainment show is that we are kind of, like, giving people that vicarious thrill. Because you would almost have to have no soul to just approach the quest that way. Kind of like how, like, I don't think most people did just walk in and fireball the people. Oh my god, this guy. Wait, this guy looks like a haunted doll. What the fuck?
Yes?
Look at this guy.
He looks like a child that is now a man.
I've lived in lay.
Yeah, like, he looks like he got bigged poorly, like, by a second-rate Zoltan machine.
We need some law and order.
He looks, oh no, he looks like, what's that fucking guy? Everyone knows who I'm talking about immediately. William Poulter, right?
I'm looking this up.
seeing you.
I have no idea who that is.
Josh, look at that guy so everybody can, like, Google Will Poulter.
Go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what has this guy been in besides...
Yeah. He's gonna be Adam Warlock.
Oh, he was in Bandersnatch.
He was, and can I also say that everyone got, like, when people thought, when he got cast as Adam Warlock, everyone's like, Will Poulter looks really goofy and ugly. I'm like, did you guys fucking watch Bandersnatch? He's incredibly hot in that.
I agree.
Greetings, Dunmer.
You're
Don't be
the...
shy.
No, you're the fighter.
This guy doesn't look like an elf. Hang on, wait. This guy looks like a cool greaser who's dating a nerd girl, and, like, he's showing up to a convention in a cosplay that he bought, and he's, like, kind of selling it through his charm, but he has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and he clearly doesn't belong here, but it's really wholesome, so you just go along with it. That's what this guy is.
Join the guild.
He's also as short as I am.
He likes
Are you
he
the
works
fence?
on
Where's the
Harley
damn
Davidsons
fence?
for a living, but he's really just enjoying, like, having some roast turkey legs and, like, saying these and thous incorrectly, and everybody's into it. Nobody's mad that he's breaking the vibe.
I also like how there are child refrigerator magnet-sized 1 and 2 to note which room is which.
Oh, I'm glad
That's
they do. Because I always get lost. I always
Here we
get
go. I
lost.
think
Whenever
this
I
is
go
the
into an
first
inn
one.
in one of these games, they're like, oh, go into 1. And I'm like, what?
Wait, what the fuck?
What's he doing?
Oh,
What's he
let's watch
doing?
it. Let's watch what he does. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. This is the best shit. This is the best Radiant shit you get. He's a thief.
What's he
He's
doing?
stealing shit.
What,
Look
what's
at him
he
stealing
up
shit.
to?
Oh, he's sniffing the glasses, trying to figure out which of this is going to complete his collection of stolen artifacts.
Oh no, he gave
He
up.
stood up. Okay, he gave up.
Now they're having a
He's having
conversation.
with his good friend Oatmeal, and the bartender's just kind of watching him standing where he's not supposed to be standing after she just watched him skulk over and sniff every single pewter mug, as if inspecting it for the smell of money and fencibility.
Clears throat, all caps.
Which, this guy is not part of the Thieves Guild and therefore cannot sell stolen goods. Which means he's just stealing all
No,
this
he's
pewter
literally
goods for
the fence,
sport.
Rutskarn. He is the fence.
Oh. Okay.
That's why I'm hanging out here.
Can you imagine if, like, you joined the Thieves Guild because you're like, I can't just sell this shit myself. I need a network of, like, reliable criminal masterminds who've set up all these, like, shell fronts and, like, respectabilities and modern laundering operations, just like competent organized crime to get rid of shit. And it's like, oh yeah, your fence then got murdered because he walked behind the bar and started grabbing pewter mug.
If I was a fence, I would not steal. Right? If you're a fence, you
Yeah,
don't
like
steal.
that seems counterproductive.
Don't commit 2 crimes at once. That's a good rule for living your life.
Ah.
In fact, they're like in the 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons complete book of thieves, which I guess is just a general AD&D book. They have an example fence character, which I actually remember thinking, like, they put a lot of interesting research into it for as much as I've, like, dogged the idea of a historical thieves guild, where they had a fence in that book that had a cover identity of a worse fence. Like, there was a fence, and his cover was that he was a bad fence who just dealt in, like, knocky shit that was, like, you know, fell off a truck that's just, like, you know, little shit. And then his real thing is that he's just actually trafficking extremely dangerous or rare magical goods.
I see.
That's a fun racket.
Buffoon Hieronymus Lex.
Because he's like basically the guy people come to, like the Watch will come to when they're trying to find that guy. They're like, do you have any leads on who this criminal mastermind is? We can ask you because you're the shitty little fence that we've got wrapped around our finger.
But the Thieves Guild cannot.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, that's my life. That's my career goal, basically.
Kindred to the Grey Fox and will not betray him. However, cubs soon get hungry. Soon someone will break. Many guild members could be jailed. Find Methredil in the Imperial City.
By the way, if you're ever doing like world building shit for stuff that is like more over the plate fantasy, stuff that like has many of the same like tropes as Oblivion and other stuff, I actually would recommend finding some AD&D like complete guide to books, because that,
I've heard of him.
as a source of inspiration, they had a very interesting equilibrium, like reading primary historical sources and like kind of classic fantasy that's out of vogue now, to produce interesting perspectives on stuff while still being very recognizable within modern genres. And like, it's kind of like you're getting something before it's become a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, which is what you get with a lot of more modern, like, video gamey fantasy stuff these days.
So we're at time.
Did we win?
Well, we didn't lose much.
How much money do we have? That's the question.
We have
how much fucking lettuce do we got?
$26.95, which is almost 1,000 more than we started with. So this
well,
week,
before we start next session and buy Chris's house, how do you make 2,500 gold?
How do you?
Post your suggestions in the comments about how.
Oh my god, he's doing it.
What's the ID for gold?
I see Josh doing this, but do I see Josh doing this?
Hold on. I'm looking.
I'm not even sure this is the correct command for this. And then there's also the thing where items can have two different IDs.
7 zeros and then the letter F.
Oh, that's easy.
So it's just 16.
Well, then you got to put your number of how much you want.
2,500. All right, that works. 2,500
we
gold.
Did it! We won!
Hey, congratulations on beating the arena quest line, Joshua.
Yeah, that's what we've even been doing for the past 15 minutes.
Is this literally the first time we've just nakedly cheated in a spoiler warning season?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nakedly, yes, but definitely not the first time.
Okay, well, we'll stop there then. We'll stop there then. Good night, folks.
That was fun.
Let's not admit first that we cheated.
No, never.
You'll have to figure it out.